to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms, in your own narrative, in your own rhythm, beloveds. Because if you're not living in your own story, then you're definitely living out someone else's. And this is not the season to do that, especially now. Thanks so much to everyone that has subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, beloveds. And thanks to everyone that likes and shares. Please go ahead and do that so the message gets out. You know, there's so much that's happening behind behind the scenes. But if you're clicked in or if you're tuned into mainstream media, you can think nothing is going on. But so much is going on, beloveds. And there are many incredible wins that we are having as a people, because I keep telling you, the spirit is back. Now we have asked, our rescue team is here. We have access to some serious spiritual backup. And, it's like we've even been pushed aside, and the ancestors and the ancient ones are the ones who are now manifesting physically to take on this war for real. And, one of the biggest contentions that I've been talking about since I started this channel is the fact that over 90% of our instruments of power and our artifacts are hidden away in the Vatican, in the British museums, in the Dutch museums, and a lot of them, beloved, it's not even the ones that are on display that we're concerned about. It's the ones that are hidden from our view. And they took these instruments of power from shamans, from ancient sites. It wasn't just Egypt. That's not the only ancient site, but that's the one they'll talk about because it's so visible, it's so grand, they can't hide it. Even though they broke the nose, trying to, hide the true color identity of the Sphinx and stuff. But those are stories for other days, beloveds. But we're not even concerned about, we can't even get the ones that we see on display back. And, allegedly, there's some instruments of power that they have taken, that they have even placed in the same temperatures, same environment, same soil, facing the same direction that it was in the shrine, trying to recreate the shrine in order to activate those things and open up gateways. But it has horribly failed. And you see, now those things are going to be calling to come back, because any instrument of power, it's a god or a goddess or a highly spiritual man or woman who put their spirit in that thing. Because everything is alive, beloveds. And as a superpower spirit, you can put your spirit in things that have a lower vibration, and you quicken that vibration, and that's how you animate it. Stories for other days. Let me not get too deep into that. But now, the reason we're even here today is because a Bible, crosses, and an imperial shield that was looted by British forces has actually been handed back over to Ethiopia. And this has been a year-long fight. You see, they thought maybe with everything happening globally that, individual countries would forget their fight. But in July this year, looted Ethiopian artifacts were actually quietly withdrawn from sale at a British auction house. Because you see, even though the governments know that a lot of our artifacts are out there, it's only when they come up for sale, because a lot of private collectors and private investors have also invested and bought a lot of these things. So it's only when they come up to auction that our people are like, hey, that's ours, bring it back. So in July, this, what is it called? The British auction house. I don't even know what the name is. They actually wanted to put on, they wanted to put on sale some, a Victorian set of 2 graduated horn beakers and a Bible and a shield. But the Ethiopian government contacted the British auction house, and it was basically a leather bound Ethiopian Coptic Bible and a set of these horned beakers. But it shows you that these are the ancient texts that they don't want people to get a hold of, have translated, and have in their world. But most Ethiopians are living; they're still in their world, beloveds. Like, I don't know when you'll see this, but September the 10th was literally the New Year's of the ETHIOPIA. That's the one we should be celebrating if we're going to celebrate any at all. So what happened is that the auction house, it's called Busby or something like that. They quietly withdrew the items from auction, and then negotiations started about the repatriation, repatriation of the items back to Ethiopia. And this was after the Ethiopian government, after being given a tip, literally contacted the auction house. Well, guess what? 2 months later, there's a private foundation. Look at that. How convenient, that calls themselves the Scheherazade Foundation or something like that. They actually purchased the items through a UK-based auction house and private dealers, and then they handed them over to the embassy. So they even handed over an imperial shield as well, a Bible, as I mentioned earlier, and crosses. And these were looted from Ethiopia all the way back in 1868, when British troops went there. So it shows you that our people are earnestly restoring and looking to restore them. And it's like even the Spirit is working through our people. So we should never read the news and believe what's happened. But you see, things happen. We got to believe it. Things happen. There's so much energy behind us getting our cultural art. They're not even cultural. Cultural is a word that doesn't even have power. Our instruments of power back. There's so much, spiritual excitement and force behind that. It cannot be stopped. But as I said, it's not these ones that we're seeing. It's absolutely great that they've returned these crosses. Of course, I know a lot of you will tell me, will they be tested? I know they did test Theodorus's hair. I did a story on that in 2019 when they had taken a lock of this emperor's hair before they killed him, and he kept it. Wicked. And so when it was returned, I know that they did actually test the hair. So will they be the real crosses? The thing is, beloveds, as I said, these instruments of power have been, it's not the tree itself, but it's the tree has its own life. Hey, I'm getting deep, but you can also put a deeper, higher life into the tree, or a different life into the tree that will merge with the tree, and the tree will give you some of its life anyway. So any instrument of power that was created is literally an extension of that person's power, and they live through that. And the reason Babylon wanted these instruments of power was that so that they could call upon, they think our ancestors are just, call upon these spirits, or use these instruments to do the incredible things that the villagers told them these things could do. But it doesn't work like that. You have to be at a certain level of spiritual development. But what I'm saying about the connection with spirit, and I'm going to start winding up, is that because the spirit is in there, because now the spirits have returned, beloveds, some in physical form, many in spiritual form, all those instruments of power that are hidden from us are going to start literally speaking out. They're going to start making themselves known. And many will be quietly returned to Africa because they're also going to start creating chaos. Because you see, a spirit of chaos has been released upon the world, beloveds, that any energy can take advantage of. And the spirits want to return to where they belong. Because it's like it's fragmented, having a part of your instrument of power, not with your people, but with an outside people who don't even honor it, and we're trying to destroy your people with it. It's like you're fragmented, and they're using a tiny part of your spirit to fight your people. Anyway, I think I'm getting too deep. Tuko pamoja.